To welcome on the stage Dr. Dina, the Executive Director of Healthcare Leadership Academy of the Saudi Commission for Health Specialties.
الله يبارك. تست صوت واضح؟ So, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me great pleasure to be here with you this afternoon. My name is Dina, السماعيل. I'm the Executive Director of the Leadership Academy here at the Saudi Commission for Health Specialties. I was asked to present a skill that I think it's important for leaders in healthcare. So I thought of executive presence. We'll learn further about the skill, but since you've been sitting for a while, I thought we'll make it a little bit of an interactive session as much as possible. So what I'll do is I want to show you pictures, and I want you to say the first impression that you get when you see that picture. تمام؟ أول شيء يخطر في بالكم لما تشوفون الصورة. So picture number 1. Professional, pleasant, executive, achiever, excited, hilali, social media, narcissistic, can't hear you, angry, has something to say, to share, معصب, angry, الفريق الثاني اللي ماني بقايله له اسمه. Positive, happy, young, youth. Professional, young, optimistic. How long did you see the pictures? How many seconds? 2, 3, 5. 3 seconds. 3 seconds you saw the pictures. Research has shown that it takes 7 seconds for an impression to be made. So you come inside a meeting, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. خلاص, an impression is made. You're nice, you're professional, you're friendly, you're angry, you're unpleasant. An impression is created. That's why it's important to have what we call executive presence. يسمى بالعربي الحضور القيادي أو الحضور التنفيذي. The book by Sylvia Ann Hewitt from Harvard talks about her research in executive presence. الكتاب مترجم في جرير اسمه الحضور التنفيذي. So what did she says executive presence is made of? She says that executive presence is made of 3 competencies. 1, gravitas, which makes up 67% من حضورك القيادي. Communication makes up 28% of your presence. And finally, 5% for your appearance. So this combination creates الحضور القيادي or your executive presence. So let's take one by one, starting off with gravitas. Gravitas is a Latin word that means weight, ثقل. الترجمة العربية لها الثقل. شفتوا لما نقول أحد ثقيل، راكز، ما يهزك ريح. So this is the gravitas. This is what we talk about how you react, how you act, how you make an entrance when you come into a room, how you make eye contact with people, and how you make mindful gestures أو إيماءات. And I've put for you pictures of the late foreign minister of Saudi Arabia, الأمير سعود الفيصل الله يرحمه. Why? Because I want him to be your reference point. How would سعود الفيصل الله يرحمه will react? شفتوا هذا الثقل? This is what we're talking about. That gravitas and weight. Amy Cuddy, Professor Amy Cuddy from Harvard Business School, she talks in her book Presence about how your body language can affect your confidence and feeling of power. In her studies, she measured 2 hormones. هرمون التستوستيرون، هرمون الcourage، هرمون الstrength، الpower، feeling of power. And another hormone, which is the cortisol hormone. هرمون الفear، anxiety، التردد، الخوف. She measured these 2 hormones at rest and then got the subjects, put them in a room and asked them to sit in positions that she called high power poses. وضعيات سمتها وضعيات قوة. And you could see them sitting in these positions. She asked them to sit for 2 minutes, دقيقتين فقط. And after that, she went back and measured those hormones. And she found that testosterone was increased by 20%. هرمون الشجاعة، الإقدام، القوة increased. Hormonal cortisol has decreased by 25%. الخوف، التردد، الانxiety all went down by 25%. The same subjects, she asked them to sit in low power positions again for 2 minutes. And she found that testosterone, the hormone of confidence and strength, decreased by 10%, while the cortisol has increased by 15%. So زادت الانxiety، الخوف، التردد, just sitting in that position for 2 minutes. After that, she came and called them, all of these positions, to power poses. So these power poses, sitting in them for 2 minutes will help increase your testosterone, the feeling of confidence and strength and power, and will reduce your fear and anxiety. The first pose that she talks about is the CEO pose. Is when you stand at a table with your hands spread around that table. Sitting in this position for 2 minutes will help increase your confidence and reduce your anxiety. And you could see here Angela Merkel, the former Prime Minister of Germany, you could see that she looks like she's having a power moment. She's leading that discussion from the position that she's posing. Another position is the Superman and the Wonder Woman pose, where you stand with your hands around your waist. طبعاً في مجتمعنا هذا البوز غير مقبول. واقف ومتخصر لي ما نقبلها احنا. So the trick is that you could use this pose to help boost your confidence or reduce your anxiety with a few tricks. So what you could do, for example, let's say I'm preparing for a presentation. So I could simply walk around doing this pose. So I'm tricking my body that I'm in a power position, increasing my testosterone level, and reducing my anxiety. Also, Professor Amy Cuddy, she says if you're having an interview, going into an interview or something major presentation, you could go to the toilet, الحمام الله يكرمكم, and just stand there in front of the mirror for 2 minutes. This will help trick your body that I'm in a power position now, raise your confidence, reduce your anxiety, and you're ready for your interview or presentation. Another position, victory pose. وشفنا أمس 5 مرات. So a victory pose, it gives you that feeling of courage, power. So this position, we see it a lot with athletes. The researcher has found even blind athletes who were blind since birth did this when they won. So innately they did it. We see this a lot. We do it, إحنا non-athletes. We do it sometimes when we make an achievement. So when you hold a certificate, or for us ladies will hold a driver license, this is a power pose, a victory pose. I achieved something. When someone, قبل شوية, those who held their certificates. So it's a power pose as well. So these are what we call victory and power poses. Another point that you need to notice, part of your gravitas, is your eye contact. التواصل البصري حقك. So التواصل البصري sometimes can be too much. How would you feel if someone is looking at you that way? Feels dominance, lack of respect, threatening, intimidating. Kind of scary, صح? Sometimes you'll see this, you'll say this is very extreme. But sometimes we do this. Me being a mother, I do this a lot with my kids. I give them the look. وش تبغين أقوم أصب قهوة? What do you want exactly? So sometimes we do this to threaten someone, to look at someone with a look, to make them feel threatened, to make them feel I'm dominant here. Sometimes it can be too little. When it's too little, what do you think? What's the reason behind it? Or how does it look? Intimidated, afraid, shy. Or sometimes people will see it as impolite. In our culture, we see it shyness, خجول, حياء, يغض البصر. Other people who do not understand our culture might see it as impolite, might see it as poor attention. Us working in healthcare in multicultural colleagues and teams, we need to make sure people understand the difference, the different eye contact that we have. Part of your presence, and a lot of us in hospitals, in our working environment, we do a lot of meetings. So your meeting presence is important. So it's important for you to take your proper place within a meeting. So people see you in that meeting. Understand the culture of your organization. Know where you need to sit. Always come early to have a good seat when seating in the meeting room. Because a lot of the time we come into meetings, we do not say a word. We don't have a chance to talk. I'm not presenting. There's no discussion, so I don't talk. At least let me sit in a chair that gives me the maximum presence that I want to create. Also, a personal point of advice that I will give you, avoid multitasking in meetings. And especially the females, I always see a lot of females, they will multitask. And here, who's multitasking? The lady. A lot of females tend to multitask in meetings to show that I'm a multitasker. أحياناً كذا أنا مكروفة. شوفوا قديش أنا قاعدة أشتغل لكم. However, sometimes it's read wrong when you multitask in meetings. It's read that you cannot manage your time, you cannot manage your team, you cannot manage your work. And personally, I learned it the hard way. I used to always carry my laptop to work, to meetings, And one day when I wanted to hold a project, I asked my boss, I want to hold that project. He said, but Dina, you're doing your emails in the meeting rooms. So you're too overwhelmed. So I lost an opportunity because I thought they will think أنا بطلة. But actually, it came back to me. So avoid multitasking. Even لو في حريقة في المكتب, come, sit, enjoy the meeting, and then leave. Let's do كذا a quick exercise. So imagine you're in a meeting room. You're part of a committee. You're not the chairperson. طيب, the chairperson is sitting on chair A. We have windows, we have a screen, and we have a door. We have chairs all over, and there is no co-chair to the meeting. كلنا سواسية. في chairperson sits at A والبقية كلنا members. Where would you have a look at the alphabet, and I'll ask you to choose which is the best seat on the table. Okay? Have a look for a minute. Okay? قررتوا? You chose your chair? So how many of you said B? Raise your hand. طيب. How many of you said C? Raise your hand. How many of you said E? طيب. How many of you said D? طيب. So the best chair on the table is chair B. We'll give you the reasoning why. أولاً, chair B is in front of the door. So, الداخل والطالع I can see. It gives me a better view of the room. Better control. إحنا we wanted to be who's our reference point? سعود الفيصل. So imagine I'm sitting in C and the door behind me. So whoever enters, I'll do. سعود الفيصل would not look like that. So you want to have complete control. So if someone enters, you could simply see them and react appropriately. So this gives you more control. Plus, another plus for B is that you're sitting close to the decision maker. Sitting close to the decision maker gives you an opportunity to comment, and your comment is heard. It gives you an opportunity for everyone is presenting towards that direction. It gives you an opportunity. People will assume you have power because you're close to power. شفتوا كيف بقالة حارتنا تصير بقالتنا؟ مسجد الحارة يصير مسجدنا؟ ما هو بمسجدنا. بس because it's close. So when you're close to decision making, people will assume you have power in decision making. شو نقول حنا صيت غنى ولا صيت فقر؟ So let people assume you have power, although you don't have power, just by selecting the best seat. Deborah Gernfield, she's a professor at Stanford University. She has a book titled Acting with Power. In her book, she talks about how leaders can act. She says leaders need to act authoritative, and she called it play high. Okay, play high, being an authority. And also they need to play low by being approachable to people, close to people. She called it playing low. Okay, so تقول a leader needs to know how to play high and play low. So how does playing high looks like? So in her book, she explains how playing high looks like. So, first of all, a leader playing high has an expansive posture. They take space when they sit, when they walk. Okay? So لما they walk in a hallway في المستشفى, they walk in the middle because they take the maximum space. Also, they have what we call a still head. حركة راسهم قليلة. They don't move a lot. الموفمنت حقتهم قليلة. They speak incomplete sentences. جمل كاملة. Because when a leader talks while he's playing high, أنتم كلكم جايين تحضرون لهذا الليدر وياخذ راحته في الكلام. يسترسل وجملة متكاملة. So they're very slow in the way they talk because they feel that they own the time of the people that are listening to them. They hold eye contact with people. They look at people when they talk. They move slowly and they slow down. حركتهم تكون بطيئة وعلى الراحة ورايقين. And they have no visible reactions to what others say. عندنا حريقة. طيب هدوا. So they're very cool. شفت لما احنا قلنا ثقيل وراكز. So they're very cool in their reaction. On the other side, she says that a leader needs to play that role, also needs to play low. So how do you play low? Well, it looks like that you hide yourself. So I stay away. I hide. I don't want to be seen. I minimize my space. So بدل ما أمشي بالنص السيب أمشي على الطرف السيب. I speak quickly. لأن شكراً عطيتوني 5 دقائق من وقتكم. أنا مرة ممتنة بعطيكم بسرعة presentation. They speak very fast because they don't think that they're worthy of this conversation. They speak in incomplete sentences. جملة متقطعة. Because they're waiting for the reaction of the other person. So, هي قاعدة الحين تقول we need to play high I play low. When do I play high and when do I play low? So, for playing high is to reinforce your position. So, reinforce your position when I want to play a role with my peers, so I'm a leader, so I play high. This is my position. Sometimes you do it when authoritativeness is called for. So let's say for example في مشكلة صارت برا مكتبك تطلع أنا المدير هنا وش اللي صاير؟ You play high. However, you play low to show respect. And I'll show you now what I mean by showing respect. You play low to build rapport. So أنت شخص تبي تتعرف عليه. I play low. I build rapport. أبدأ تواصل بفعالية مع الآخرين. And finally, I do it to lift someone up. I want someone else to shine. So I play low. حتى لو أنا مديرة. But at this moment, let them be high, I'll be low for their sake. Okay? Here, we have a picture of Trump and President Obama. President Obama was still in office. So a picture from the White House. President Trump is president-elect. So President Obama is playing high or low? High. Expansive posture. معبي الكرسي حقه وجالس you could see he has an open gesture. بينما you could see Trump has a collapsed presence, minimizing themselves. So, أقل. You could see them minimizing. Plus, you could see his hand in front of him. So, he's minimizing himself. طيب هنا Trump is playing high or low? He's playing low. You could see him playing low where he is leaning towards الملك الله يحفظه. His head is looking down. He's smiling with his eyes below because he is with someone who's older than him by age. He's a royalty and he's a president-elect. Plus, he's in Saudi Arabia, so he's in someone's home. So he feels I need to play low. I'll show you a video clip about how can a leader plays low in certain situation. So the video clip is from King Faisal Specialist Hospital, Jeddah. Al-Amir Khalid al-Faisal, he's the Prince of Mecca region, and he's just leaving the hospital. The CEO of the hospital, he's not in this frame, he will show in a bit. He would be the guy wearing a lab coat and then wearing a mask over him. Okay? أبغى نشوف الفيديو and then I'll tell you a little bit about it. So هذا ال CEO حق المستشفى تشوفونه ظهر. So was he playing high or low? Low. Hiding himself, minimizing himself, hiding لبس كمامة. Hiding himself, minimizing جلست على جنب. So this is how a leader plays low. لأن دائما يجيني السؤال سهلة high. We know how we play high. How do we play low? When do I play low? I'll show you another clip. This is from King Salman, Allah يحفظه, leaving King Faisal Specialist Hospital, Riyadh. And I want you to see the Crown Prince where he's standing. The second video, please. He was sitting to the side, sitting to the back, collapsed, not taking space. He's the Crown Prince and the Prime Minister, and he is the Minister of Defense. However, he was playing low in the presence of his father. So playing low. Even when the king moved, he turned around, وينك? أنت وراك. I'm behind you. So this is how a leader plays low. We select the appropriate situation that I don't need the spotlight. The spotlight can go to someone else. So we talked about gravitas, and let's talk a little bit about communication, which makes up 28% of your executive presence. So communication is how you speak. كيف تتكلم؟ كيف تتواصل مع الآخرين؟ Know your tone and speed. اعرف التون والسبيد اللي انت تتكلم فيها مع الآخرين. Also your volume. Your volume needs to be loud enough where people can hear you, and however not too loud that causes people headaches. So we need to know the balance. I need to know the speed that I need to talk with. A lot of people tend to talk too fast, and especially most of Saudis or who non-native English speakers, it's not our mother tongue. We're not used to it. And a lot of times, some of the words that we talk, they're not very clear. So take your time talking and presenting. Watch for vocal fillers. Vocal fillers are, يعني, you know, why do we have the vocal fillers? The vocal fillers are helping us get the next sentence from our brain. So the trick is simply pause. توقف عن الكلام. and be comfortable وأنت تتوقف عن الكلام. So talk نقطة talk period كمل الجملة حقتك نقطة and talk. أحيانا كثيرة we say عشان كذا أطلع الكلام but شوية مزعج distracting to people. So the way to do it is simply pause. When you're presenting, you would need to practice on your presentation. Especially when it's your first time presenting, if it's an important presentation, practice, rehearse. A lot of the speakers that we see them on podiums, they rehearse. ترى مو فنانين زمانهم. Everybody practice and rehearse. And when you practice and rehearse at home, practice in front of a mirror. Or practice with a high voice. So you can listen to yourself. You can look at yourself. Or sometimes if you have someone that can record for you, you record yourself and criticize yourself. Fix what needs to be fixed. Part of your communication is gestures. إيماءاتك. الإيماءات or gestures help you to be less robotic. Helps you not to let people get distracted with your hands behind your back. Because usually research has shown that people do not feel safe when someone is talking this way. They always feel suspicious that they have something behind their back. That's why as soon as you meet someone, you say this, to show them I have nothing in my hands. It's an innate feeling that humans have. So always have your hands in front of you. Have them within your chest area, محيط صدرك. Not too high, not too low. Find the best position for your hands. Using your hands can be your PowerPoint when you don't have a PowerPoint. So it helps people receive your message. Also, you could use your hands for sometimes counting. So I'll tell you 3 skills. 1, 2, 3. It helps people remember and embeds the information better. However, if the information that you're counting is more than 5, do not use your hands. خلاص, it doesn't work because you will get confused and people will get confused. So it's just 5. I want to show you this clip from the Minister of Information Technology and Communication, the Saudi Minister, المهندس عبد الله السواحة. He's an excellent speaker. I want you to look at his gestures. مو لازم نسمع الكلام, but I want you to see how many gestures he's used in this short clip.
A $3 billion stimulus fund. Fast forward today, 18 months, from 1.2 million homes to 2 million homes.
طيب, I'll repeat it again just for the sake of you hear it all. شغلة please الفيديو.
A $3 billion stimulus fund. Fast forward today, 18 months, from 1.2 million homes to 2 million homes. Internet speed have quadrupled, and today we're above the global average. And this is when we genuinely said, now it's the foundation to talk about transformation.
So tripled, quadrupled, the past, the future. Now we can say. So he used a lot of gestures to emphasize the points that he wanted to make. So thinking about our executive presence, we said we have 3 components. Gravitas, which is the majority of our presence. Communication, which is the second part, 28%. And then appearance. كم? How much do we spend on our appearance? Time, money, وشغلة. A lot. However, it's not really what impacts your presence. صح, it plays a role. And a lot of the times, we were impressed by someone, as soon as they talk, it inflates. It disappears. So it's good to have the appearance, but it's not the majority of things. A lot of people say, no, I need to wear the brand watch, the brand bag. No, it's not that. It's how you present yourself, how you talk, how you communicate. However, I don't want to go through the do's and don'ts of appearance because all of us working in healthcare, we know that. However, I want to emphasize a point that you are a role model of how you appear. You are a role model of how you look. Remember these trending clothes that Princess Muhammad wore and it became sold out? Because simply, he is a role model to a lot of the people. And automatically, he wore something everybody wanted to be like him. To bring that point, that I want you to know that whatever you wear, your students will notice, your interns, your colleagues, your employees, your leaders as well. So you want to look right. You look for the position. And with that, we conclude our presentation. Thank you very much.